Guys, and welcome back to the Everyday Golfer. You'll see we're out on the golf course, and today we are going to be talking about how to lower your scores out on the golf course, or what is this mid-handicap doing wrong, and is it something you are doing wrong that is holding you back from reducing your handicap. So we welcome back our mid-handicap golfer Dave. We are out here at Garforth, so if you have watched the channel for a while, you'll see that we did do this in the winter. We did a little bit of course management. So today we're off the white tees, it's competition season. And we're going to go through Dave playing here, and Dave's just going to play as he would. So he's going to talk us through the shots, where he's going to aim, and then if he makes any mistakes, hopefully Dave doesn't and shoots 59, but if he does, we're going to talk through what he did wrong there, what he needs to be aware of, and is it things that you miss out on. So, Dave, where are we aiming? What's the shot?
I'm aiming at the left-hand side of that middle bunker.
Okay. And you're going to go through the gap?
Well, I should be able to clear it,
okay.
But hopefully if I don't clear it, it'll go through the gap.
Right, perfect. So Dave's normal shot, as we know if you watch the channel, is a little bit right to left. So if he aims at that and he does turn it over, he's still going to carry over this first bunker, and then he's got a good angle into the green. So his talk's a good game.
As always, Chris.
Let's see if he can produce. He has drawn it straight through the gap, as predicted, over that first bunker. Dave's worried more about his tee, don't worry, Dave. Tee.
It's gone right across the path.
Your tee is there, Dave, do not worry. Guys, we're going to be doing 3 holes today, and it's going to be 3 holes per week, and show you obviously how Dave can score off the competition tees, what is different to the winter, and how we can get him down to the elusive 9.9. So Dave just missed this bunker here. It has ran through the fairway, so that's something we've got to take into account when it is the summer. How much run are we going to get? Obviously in the UK at the moment we haven't had much rain for the last 3 weeks, so that's making the fairways nice and firm, but is that going to run you into some trouble? So if you watch in the winter, we played off the yellow tees here on the first hole, and we was actually just past that 150 marker. You see the difference there. It wasn't a perfect drive for Dave, but it's down there. It'll be very interesting. I don't think we'll have much more than 100 yards in, so a massive difference of 50 yards, and that could be the difference of obviously going into this trouble if he was to turn it over a little bit too much. But Dave's just smiling.
The trouble on this hole is if you just turn it over slightly, Chris, you've got out of bounds all the left-hand side, and even if it stops, you end up in these trees anyway. So
yeah, but not for you, Dave.
No.
Position A.
But you sometimes wonder whether you should be taking a lesser club, either a rescue or a 3-wood to not go that far, but you take the driver out anyway, don't you?
You do want to get it down here, because Dave, if he did hit a 3-wood and misstruck it, or a hybrid, he might catch one of those bunkers, and then it's turning a relatively easy hole into a hard hole. Although this is stroke index 8, so Dave gets a shot here, and even if he was a single figure golfer, he would still get that. So Dave, how far have we got?
We've got 93 yards.
Under 100 yards. Again, the hole is 330 yards, so Dave's a reasonable drive there for him with his vintage M1.
Still trying to find one that works for me, Chris.
So Dave's now just checking his numbers. So Dave, obviously you're looking at your numbers there, so which wedge and which shot is it from here? So pin's pretty much in the middle of the green, so if we have a look.
It's about 10 o'clock with the pitching wedge.
Okay, and what's that going to land?
That is going to land at about 85.
85 and then run out to 92. So pitching wedge with his Tacoma irons. We know he's not too strong. It's not as strong as his pitching wedge with his old Callaways. So these are things you should be doing at this time of the year. Obviously the pin is in the middle of the green here. If the pin was at the front, we might be choosing a different shot and going a little bit higher to get it landing softer. But here we can get it landing on the green and getting some control. That's a nice shot there from Dave. Landed just short of the green. And it has ran up. Oh, it's still running. Oh,
Gone.
and it's ran off, Dave. Well, missing
Don't
the
know
green.
my own strength.
Missing the green from 100 yards, but an interesting fact there is, I'll try and find it on Instagram, is with one of the stats guys on there, Tiger Woods missed the green 20% of the time from 90 to 110 yards. So Dave,
I can beat that.
don't feel too bad. So like we mentioned on the tee, we're going to talk about if Dave does anything wrong. Yeah, nothing wrong there really, just slightly under hit. So it was a yard short. If it had landed on the green, it might have landed a little bit softer and not ran through into this tricky, snaggy lie.
But you're scared of landing it on the green, Chris, just in case it doesn't stop, because obviously I don't get loads of spin.
Well, you need to think positive, Dave. Right, this shot, not the easiest of lies, club.
Sand wedge, 56.
So obviously here, just below the green, if you play in the UK, again, we get a lot of this lush rough around it, so it's keeping the speed this time of the year through that shot, like Dave did there nicely, to get that ball out and running. So I'm going to see that in from Dave. It is a foot. I don't think
You're not going to give me that, Chris.
even the magician can miss that. Well, it's what the fans want to see, Dave. So out with a par, and you'll notice in your season it's all about getting up and down, so shots like that, you've not hit a bad pitching wedge into the green, it's just ran off, but then it's been nice and positive to get out with a par. So on to the second hole here, par 5, 502 yards, stroke index 6. So again, if we were going off Dave's handicap, Stableford, he would be 1 under now, because he would have got a shot there. This hole, again, littered with bunkers. So Dave, talk us through the shot.
My tendency is to, with the driver, obviously it goes left at times.
Yep.
So I'm kind of going to start it on the line of that second bunker,
Okay, yeah.
hoping that it's going to either move left or draw a little bit.
Okay, yeah, so it'll easily carry over the first bunker, and then if it draws back, it's drawing back to the middle. If it stays there, it shouldn't reach that bunker, is that right?
Depends on the roll, Chris.
Oh,
This
right.
morning it's a bit cold, so hopefully not.
Right. Well, let's see it, Dave. Let's hopefully not go in that bunker. So it's gone over that bunker, the first one, and
Looks dodgy, Chris.
could be straight in that second bunker right there, unless that is a ball, which I couldn't see before. But this is where it'll be interesting when we get down there. Should have Dave used a 3-wood there?
Or
Should
aim
he have-
down the middle.
Or aim down the middle. Again, left is trouble, so Dave knows his tendencies, but would a 3-wood have still carried over this first bunker? Would it have still got that run, but then not brought that bunker into play? So hopefully Dave's missed it, but that's the things you've got to think about. So Dave was just saying, as an everyday golfer, he found another excuse. The tees are normally further back, so Dave says no, it doesn't bring this bunker into play. I said, well, yes, but then it would also bring that one potentially into a carry distance for Dave. So he has hit a good shot here, but you've got to be taking into account that if it does go in the bunker, you might end up with a lie like that.
It's a disaster, Chris.
So not a great lie for Dave, but now it's all about taking his medicine. This is a hole where you can't reach into, so we are laying up before those bushes just there. So it's now thinking about what can Dave get over the lip there, what can he get down. And it's all about strike here, because if we miss strike this, we're going to leave ourselves as a 4-shotter into the green. Dave does get a shot, but we want to take advantage of that. So what do you think can get out of there, Dave?
A 9-iron.
9-iron, perfect.
Slightly buried, isn't it?
It is slightly buried, not position A. Again, it was a good drive.
Good shot off tee though, Chris.
It
You know.
was a good drive, but it's being punished because it was the, you could say the wrong club or you could say the wrong line. So take your pick, comment below. Which one was it? Was it the wrong club or wrong line? Nicely out there, Dave.
Yeah, I'll take that. It wasn't the easiest.
So Dave's good shot from there. So again, a lot of people catch them too heavy. We've still got down here 100 yards. What's it left us, Dave?
164 to the pin, Chris.
164. So over the bushes to the red flag. What club are you going with?
Well, even though it's a red flag, I'm still thinking maybe this rescue.
The 5?
Yeah, the 5 rescue. Just, I'd rather be on the green and a bit long of the pin than short and chipping.
Yeah, right, let's go with that then, Dave. So 5 hybrids. So this can, you'll see on the channel last week, Dave did test out a hybrid which was getting out to about 185. So yes, if he gets one, but that'd be the back of the green. And like Dave said, he'd rather be long than short on this hole. So let's give it a go with the vintage 2015 aero burner. That's a great shot, great strike, just left side of the green.
Yeah, thought it was going to bounce in, but I don't think it has.
No, but not a bad shot there. So took his medicine, still being able to get there or thereabouts in 3, and as always, it comes down to short game. So Dave was just saying it could be in the trees, but I mean my eyes are bad, but Dave must not have woke up.
Dave Harrison bounce.
Dave Harrison bounce. Members bounce off there to 6 feet, so he is on in 3. We've got a birdie putt, which we didn't expect.
Not after drive.
After Dave's good
happy
drive
now.
That found the bunker. So was it the right club in the end, Dave?
No.
No.
No, definitely not.
Answer. Right, so Dave's left himself a tricky putt. He was just saying there, because I forgot to press record, he did use the contours here to get this ball as close as possible. But this green obviously shapes from back to front, it slopes back to front, so even Dave coming in lower with that 5 hybrid, it was still going to slow down, so it's the right play as opposed to being short. So tricky putt here. This is for a birdie, not what we expected after the tee shot. It's taking that time now, making sure Dave gets this high enough to have a chance.
Ooh.
So a great effort there from Dave. You can see how much that putt swung. So obviously it had around about 3 or 4 feet of break, but it's back-to-back pars with shots. We're 2 under, and we move on to a short par 4, 3rd hole.
Last winter, Chris, when we did it off the yellows, and it was obviously there was no run at all, you told me that we should always be going with driver here, but it's only 270 yards. Would you still go with a driver, or would you go down to 3-wood or rescue?
So this all depends on how close it is. So if you like shots, you know you've got all your numbers, Dave, from 60 yards, 50 yards. So if you've got a number that's nice where you hit your driver, you're comfortable with that, we can still go driver. If there's somebody watching this where you think, right, well, if I hit my driver and it comes up 50 yards short, I hate a 50 yard shot, I'm going to thin it or fat it, then that's where you maybe want to go down to a rescue. Leave yourself maybe 100 yards, something that's a fuller shot. But for you, Dave, I think it's still the driver.
You see, you're kind of thinking that I know how far my driver goes. I know exactly how far the wedges go, but drivers.
Nobody knows how far your driver goes, Dave. Even the fans don't know. So we're going to go driver. Right, so Dave's using the tee box to his advantage here. So obviously he has listened to something along the way. So he's used the left side of the tee box because he knows he normally hits a draw. He can now hit towards the flag, and if it does turn off, it's going to be on the left side of the fairway or the left rough, and can still go at the green nice and easy. So yes, it doesn't matter if it goes into the rough, he's giving himself the best chance of hitting the fairway. And just because it's 269 yards, Dave's not going to jump after this, try and hit it any harder. Just trying to swing in balance. That's a fantastic shot. Started just right of the flag, straight up the middle of the fairway, and it's chasing up there, Dave. So a fantastic drive up here as the pigeons fly off.
There's never been such times, Chris.
Yeah, so 269 yards this hole, so let's see obviously how far Dave has got, and then I'm going to go up to the green for this shot. So first of all, Dave, in the fairway, so we know we're going to be able to get a good strike on this, so that is then going to dictate with a front pin what club are we going to choose? Are we going to go a little bit more aerial?
Yes.
How far, Dave?
45.
45 yards, so...
That's 45 with the slope, it's 43 without the slope.
43 without the slope, so Dave's obviously hit a good drive there, 220 yards, just over. So what club are you going, Dave?
56 to about 9 o'clock.
56 to about 9 o'clock, so we'll get up on the green. So on this kind of hole, obviously Dave's played here and you'll played at your golf course, you do want to be coming potentially up and just having a quick look, because Dave needs to make sure he gets the carry right here, because it's a bit of a false front and it could be back at his feet. So a little bit past the flag here is never a bad thing, and giving yourself a putt. So Dave is ready. Let's see, 2 under. No shots on here, stroke index 18. Let's see what he can do. So, great shot from Dave there. So landed a little bit short, very risky, but we know Dave doesn't get too much spin on the ball, so that's nicely bounced forwards. It's ran out, and that's what Dave knows. He knows he doesn't get too much spin, and we could be 300 through 3 going into next week. So Dave's done his read. It's now here. Dave here for a birdie to go to 3 under. Going on to stroke index 1, I believe, straight away next week. Great putt, 3 under, and we'll see you next week.
See you soon.